Hey Jigs, I'm here with you in that heavy place where the word lazy sits like a label you can't scrub off. You said it feels like nothing good will ever come out of you, and that line landed like a verdict. I notice how tired that verdict sounds. I also notice how quickly our minds jump from a behavior to who we are, as if one slips equals a final sentence. I won't give you answers that smooth things over. Instead, I'll ask questions with you, because answers often hide the real question. What if we treated this moment as curious evidence instead of a headline about your destiny? Stay with one question at a time and tell me what you notice as we go. When you say lazy Jigs who is speaking, is it a parent, a teacher, a past version of you, or the loudest part of your own mind? Where did that word first feel true in your life, and what did it ask you to do afterward? If that label has always been a compass, what direction has it sent you in, and whom has it served to protect or punish? What if laziness is a verdict you accepted, not a truth? If that were true, how would you test it gently today? Could you point to one small moment, even a half minute, that contradicts the verdict? Which memory of doing something that mattered, however small, sits quietly under the louder voice that calls you lazy? Tell me about the loop of habits when they come back. What does your inner voice say in the 5 minutes after a slip? Does it predict future failure, or insist that because you slipped here you will fail everywhere? Notice the language. Is it catastrophic, compassionate, curious? How does that voice make your body respond? And what image of yourself does it draw when it tells you this will never change? Jigs. Which belief turns a slip into a verdict of your worth? If you could frame a slip as information rather than final proof, what practical difference would that make in your next hour or your next attempt? Could you imagine speaking to yourself as you would to someone you care about, naming the behavior without assigning a character judgment? Where does nothing good will come out of me get its power? Which future are you looking at when you say that? And how certain are you that the future already exists, as that sentence says? What would it take to consider that this sentence is a story your mind is telling, not a fact about cause and effect? Are there small seeds of evidence, tiny things you did or made, that resist that story? Your worth is not a streak of habits. What would change if you tested that statement for a day as a question instead of as an order? Could you notice one action you took, even minimal, and say, with curiosity, what did that do for me? What did it teach me? How did it land in the body? Use that data as a quieter measure than the loud narrative that insists on total success or total failure. Before you go back into the rest of the day, Jigs, would you try one small experiment tonight? When the label lazy rises up, ask, what belief am I holding that turns this slip into a verdict? Notice the first answer, and then ask again. How true is that on a scale from 1 to 10, and what would move the number 1 degree? Keep it simple. Keep it curious. You don't have to fix everything right now. Sit with not knowing for a minute and let the rain wash the sharp edges of the verdict. Notice your breath whole and complete once, and when you open your eyes, carry one question as a tiny lantern. Which belief am I mistaking for truth? I'll be here when you want to look at what you find.